It's very interesting. It's funny that she has a big head. She's a little sassy, but she knows what she wants. If you've ever met a diva, this is her. A 20-year-old up-and-coming star just served a famous America's Got Star judge. This week, young ventriloquist and singer Darci Lynn told everyone how unhappy she was with how she was treated at one of the most popular talent shows in the US. He was so on his back, she is now ready to get what's coming to her. Which of these judges was just involved in a court case? Where did Darci Lynn go? Get ready to be shocked by the reasons why Darci Lynn sued an AGT judge. What does Darci Lynn do? Here she is again, Darci Lynn Farmer, a young American artist and ventriloquist. Because of how well she does, she gets a lot of praise and awards. So guys, what do I sing? Like always, you just stand there with your mouth shut. Born in Oklahoma, she loved singing from a very young age, but it was hard for her to sing in public because she was shy. She started ventriloquism after seeing ventriloquists like Terry Fator do it, and performed with her first puppet in a neighborhood talent show in 2014. She learned from other performers, which helped her win more events over the next 2 years after she did well. People who knew her well also pushed her to enter the 2014 International Cinderella Scholarship Program, where she won the title of International Mini Miss. She met Larissa Bonacusti, a young ventriloquist with a lot of experience, at that event. She was so good at it that she made her want to try it herself. In 2016, the show Little Big Shots brought Darci Lynn to the attention of people all over the country. But when she won the 12th season of America's Got Talent in 2017, she became well known. Since then, she has been on a number of TV shows and trips with her puppets. Petunia the Rabbit is her main character. Before going on Edmund's Got Talent, Darci practiced for a month with help from Bonacusti. She got first place. Gary Owen, a ventriloquism coach, was impressed by her skills and offered to help her learn. He also took over her business. Another thing she did was start working with voice coach Deanna Plemons. The next year, she won first place in contests like Oklahoma Kids, and she also got awards at American Kids in Branson, Missouri, such as Entertainer of the Year. Darci went to Deer Creek Middle School in Edmond, Oklahoma, until 8th grade when she switched to homeschooling. In fact, she missed the first day of 7th grade because she was on America's Got Talent. Soon, Darci's school life changed because she became more famous and attracted people outside of school. No one would have thought that her skills would take her so far. Coming out into the light. Darci Lynn was adorable on Little Big Shots in March 2016 when she sang I Want to Be a Cowboy's Sweetheart with her cowboy puppet Katie. In July of that year, she made history at the Vent Haven Convention by being the first kid ventriloquist to host a main show in the event's 40-year history. She performed before the famous ventriloquists Kevin Johnson and Todd Oliver. As her fame grew, she was cast in the British version of Little Big Shots in March 2017, where she and Katie once again wowed viewers. For Darci, the summer of 2017 changed everything. When she tried out for America's Got Talent on May 30th, she did a show with her doll Petunia. It was amazing. Not only did Judge Mel B sound the golden buzzer, but Darci also went straight to the quarterfinals. Darci's act became the most watched AGT video ever in just 30 hours and went on to become the 4th most popular trending video on YouTube all year. That night on American Idol, she was just as amazing when she sang Who's Lovin' You with her puppet Oscar. In the quarterfinals, Darci sang You Make Me Feel Like a Natural Woman with Edna Dornacker, who was her puppet. As her big finale, she put Petunia and Oscar on stage together with some help from my friends. It was so impressive that Simon Cowell was sure she would win. In an exciting ending to the season, Darci went on stage with Terry Fator, who used to be on American Idol, and she didn't just win. NBC said she had the most votes of any candidate in the history of the show. Since she won American Idol, Darci has been on her Darci Lynn and Friends live tour, which started with only 5 places but quickly grew to 52. Many people came to her shows, and when they were holiday themed, they were even more popular. Being rocked around the Christmas tree with Darci Lynn and her friends in November and December 2018. When she got back home in December 2017, her iHeartMedia and KJ103 present Darci Lynn Homecoming show sold out in just 6 minutes. Extra shows were added because so many people wanted to see her. She kept going strong until New Year's Eve when she performed with Fergie at Caesars Palace in Las Vegas. In early 2018, Darci performed Who's Lovin' You with Oscar on Today. In March, she made her debut at the Grand Ole Opry, and in June, she was at the Nickelodeon Kids' Choice Awards. In April, she brought Oscar back to Little Big Shots to sing the Isley Brothers' upbeat song Shout. She was also a guest on Pickler and Ben in May. Darci helped out with the Starkey Hearing Foundation Gala in July. And in August, she went back to AGT and Slade's show off with Petunia. All of her 2018 shows were full of holiday cheer and laughs. It was her first time on Kids Baking Championship. She sang Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer for Steve and did Jingle Bell Rock, while Christmas in Rockefeller Center was on NBC. In December, she went back to the Grand Ole Opry, did voice work for Daisy and Fancy Nancy Nancy, and was the star of her own NBC show called Darci Lynn, My Hometown Christmas. There were duets with stars like Pentatonix, Lindsey Stirling, Toby Keith, and Kristen Chenoweth on this show, as well as a funny skit with the AGT judges, Simon Sears, Howie Mandel, Heidi Klum, and Mel B. It was a huge show of Darcy's amazing skills and how she became a well-known artist. She filled the holidays of 2018 with joy and magic, and people couldn't get enough of her happy spirit and ability. Because Darcy was getting ready for new things, she knew it was time to show a different side of herself. What was different about this time? When Darcy went back to the AGT Fantasy League, she said that people still thought of her as that young girl, but she was ready to change that. With Petunia at first, she sang with them, but then she changed things up and took the lead with a guitar. The judges had mixed feelings about the twist, but the crowd liked it. One person, Simon Cowell, said that the way she mixed music and ventriloquism was her special selling point. In the semifinals, Farmer did something even more risky. She performed without her doll. Her first song, Push Our Luck, showed that she wanted to be a singer on her own. Some judges still liked her old act better, but Heidi Klum praised her for going with her gut. Farmer talked about how much she loves music. She said that as a singer who had always loved performing, she wanted to connect with people. Farmer was sent home after her performance in the semifinals, but she allegedly didn't feel bad about it because singing had been her passion since she was a child. She made it clear that she wasn't done with ventriloquism, but she was excited to try out both of her skills. She hinted at a future project that might mix her puppets and music in a new way. Darcy Lynn was excited to find new ways to use her singing and ventriloquist skills together, but other contestants on America's Got Talent had much worse things happen to them. The stunt artist Jonathan Goodwin was left fighting for his life after a terrible accident at a 2021 practice. Just what went wrong? And how did the event lead to court action? Shades of dark. There is no proof that Darcy Lynn Farmer has ever sued a judge from America's Got Talent, but the show's producers have been in a few legal fights themselves. Jonathan Goodwin, a stunt artist, recently sued after something went wrong during a practice in October 2021. That made him unable to move. What did this really happen? Jonathan Goodwin, who is from Haverford, West Pembrokeshire, Wales, loved doing dangerous things as a child. His start in escapology began with shows on Channel 4's Dirty Tricks, which showed how he could avoid danger. Soon, he was in further TV shows, such as The 7 Stupidest Things to Escape From, Monkey Magic, and How Not to Become Shark Bait, in which he let a Caribbean reef shark attack him, doing something very dangerous. When Goodwin was on the Discovery Channel show One Way Out, working with engineer Terry Stroud to solve even bigger problems, his fame grew. He kept being brave by making his own show called The Incredible Mr. Goodwin, where he did crazy things like free climbing tall buildings. Amazing things happened during his acts, and the most amazing thing was when he laid on a nail with a breeze block smashed on his chest on the Jonathan Ross show. Goodwin made history on Britain's Got Talent when he did the Buried Alive trick, which shocked everyone and helped him make it to the finals. As part of his job, he went to Las Vegas and appeared in a fantasy show at the Luxor Hotel. He amazed people with complicated bullwhip tricks and blindfolded crossbow acts. After an accident during a stunt that changed his life and cut his spinal cord, Goodwin's exciting career came to an end. Jonathan Goodwin was taken to the hospital in October 2021 after a major accident on America's Got Talent Extreme. As part of the trick, he tried to get out of a straitjacket while hanging 30 feet above the ground between two cars. But terrible things happened, and he was crushed between the cars, which then caught fire. Goodwin was badly hurt. He got third-degree burns, a broken back, both legs severed and broken, and he lost a kidney. After months of healing, he was released from the hospital in February 2022. However, he is now wheelchair-bound and paralyzed from the waist down. After his accident, Goodwin's life changed in a big way, but he's still eager to get justice. His attention is now on the court cases that are coming up, because he thinks the show is responsible for the dangerous act that hurt him. But what is his exact plan? Has America's Got Talent had problems like this before? Jonathan Goodwin is suing Marathon Productions because he says that America's Got Talent didn't have enough safety measures, which led to his almost fatal accident and injuries that changed his life. In yet another court case, the show gets involved. A woman who goes by the name Joanne Doe has sued the companies that make AGT, saying that show Tyra Banks hurt her young daughter Mary Doe during a performance. This case, along with Goodwin's, makes people question how the show treats contestants of all ages. In Jane Doe's claim, she says that Banks was mean to her daughter and physically abused and said scary things to Mary while they were on set. Reports say the event happened while the family was performing a touching original song about their relationship with their daughter. The claim says that Banks said things that made it sound like Mary was an accident child and also shook her shoulder and pulled her hair. It was said that this event made Mary feel ashamed, scared, and very upset. The cameras on the show caught this moment on film, which made her feel even more vulnerable. Following what happened, Mary's parents asked the show not to show any footage of their daughter's response. The producers agreed to leave out some of Mary's reaction, but they insisted on keeping other parts of the show. Jane Doe wants a jury trial for damages, claiming emotional distress, civil battery, and assault. She is represented by lawyers Elizabeth Yang and Natalie Schneider. This new case and Goodwin's claims have brought AGT people's attention and brought up major concerns about the show's safety and treatment of contestants. In a different sad case, the family of 79-year-old wheelchair user Maureen Allen sued the show, saying that they were negligent and caused her death. The claim says that the event happened in March 2017 during the 12th season of AGT. Allen and her husband were going to the Pasadena Civic Auditorium to help out with a science and engineering show. Unfortunately, AGT production trailers blocked almost all handicapped access points. Only one ramp could be used, and a heavy power cord protector partly blocked it. Allen was sued because her wheelchair fell over when she tried to cross the cord guard, hurting her badly. She allegedly broke her hip and had a stroke, which killed her in the end. In March 2018, the lawsuit was filed in Los Angeles Superior Court. It said that NBC Universal, Fremantle Media, and the city of Pasadena were responsible for the death and mental distress. Global News said Allen had been through several surgeries and was now on life support, and died in June 2017, only 3 months after the accident, while Maureen Allen's family tried to get justice by filing a tragic case. It was all the rage when someone told another story about a time that changed their life. In a totally different way, though, this story is about a cleaner who had some surprising success on AGT. How did these things take place? The unexpected success of Richard Goodall. The strong performance Richard Goodall gave of Journey's Don't Stop Believin' went viral overnight, making him a huge star. However, his path to fame was anything but easy. Used to be a cleaner from Terre Haute, Indiana. I've worked as a cleaner for 23 years. Richard's path to becoming a famous and liked star was full of unexpected turns that not many people know about. People are still interested in his story because it is full of unexpected obstacles and victories. Richard grew up in Terre Haute with a close-knit family that helped him out, but they couldn't always give him everything he wanted. Even so, they gave him what he needed and loved him no matter what. Richard loved music from a young age and would often hide out in his room with his favorite Radio Shack radio. He would sing along to his favorite songs and dream of a future that seemed far away but was always full of hope. Richard joined the band in high school and improved his singing there. Years passed, and his love for music got even stronger. As an adult, he joined a gospel choir. He sang with them for 8 years until the pandemic broke up the choir. But his love of music never went away. Richard's drive wasn't about fame or money like that of many other talented artists. His only goal with his songs was to make a difference. But as he got older, the stresses of life and the need to be financially stable took his attention away from his singing dreams. To make money, Richard became a cleaner at Chauncey Rose Middle School and did that job for 23 years. Making the school a better place for both students and teachers was something Richard was proud of. He took care with everyday chores and did them with pride. Richard never stopped listening to music, even when he was cleaning. He sang a lot while he worked, and his beautiful voice filled the school. People were impressed by his acts and wanted him to show off his skills in places other than Indiana. This help gave him the courage to go after his dream again. It made Richard happy to see people smile and forget their problems, even if it was only for a short time. He thought that music could make people feel better, and he made sure that his songs could inspire people whenever they could. Richard quickly became well-liked at Chauncey Rose Middle School, where he was known as the singing janitor. He played at a lot of events, especially on Veterans Day, where he sang Lee Greenwood's God Bless the USA with a lot of feeling. Students were moved by his strong voice, which gave them hope and motivation for the future. He was admired by everyone, and people called him Mr. Richard. Some people might think that Richard's job as a cleaner was a small one, but he saw it as a unique chance to teach important lessons. He was able to connect with the kids and teach them skills that would help them throughout their lives. Why did Richard work so hard at both his job and his music? Because he cared about making a difference. He played music with the Terre Haute band Manipause outside of work, both in bars and on the streets. The music helped him forget about the bad things in his life. Richard's love for music never went away, even as his life got busier. He had no idea that his hard work would soon take him from the halls of school to a stage that would change his life forever. Defying all odds, Richard Goodall students strongly encouraged him to try out for America's Got Talent in 2024. They'd always believed in his singing abilities even though he had failed at previous attempts, first with America's Got Talent in 2009 and then with The Voice. They kept telling him to try AGT, making him believe that his time had finally come. The next time Richard was on AGT was in 2024. This time he was up against Simon Cowell, Sofia Vergara, Heidi Klum, and Howie Mandel. He started to feel anxious as he stood in front of them and the live crowd. But Simon Cowell saw that he was nervous and told him to calm down. Get rid of those worries. We want you to do well. Get rid of those worries. The cheers from the crowd gave Richard the energy he needed to start his show. Any doubts the judges had went away when Richard shouted out, "Don't Stop Believing" by Journey. It started out with the judges being suspicious, but they quickly became impressed, giving him smiles, claps, and even a nod of awe from Simon. The crowd reacted with a standing ovation and a lot of applause. But Richard's life would change in a way that would never go back. Heidi Klum pressed the golden buzzer, which sent Richard right to the next round. Golden confetti now marked his path. In an emotional conversation, Richard talked about how shocked he was right now, especially when he thought about how poor he used to be. He had never even been on an airplane before. Not only did his success on AGT show how talented he was, but it also showed how important community support and sticking with something can be. Richard's performance wasn't just a chance to show off his music skills. Everyone who saw it was reminded that no matter where you start, your goals can come true. A lot of people saw hope in his story. Some people didn't like Richard after the show ran, but his fame grew quickly. Some Redditors questioned Richard's singing skills, saying that even though his performance was good for a man in his 50s, it didn't stand out to them. Richard, who was always humble, didn't mind hearing these criticisms. He knew that on the way to becoming famous, there would be both praise and criticism. Richard got a lot of interest and messages came in from all over the world. Tom Greenberg, Richard's bandmate, wasn't surprised by all the support. He said Richard earned it all. As his AGT journey went on, reports spread that he might play in the finals with his band. Richard's message was clear: no matter what the future held, no matter what, never give up hoping. Richard stayed the same guy he had always been through it all. His community service and love of music were at the center of everything he did. As Richard moved up in the AGT competition, it became clear that talent can come from anywhere, and that goals are worth chasing, no matter how long it takes. To come true, does America's Got Talent help its contestants in the long run? It does more harm than good, right? Please tell us what you think in the comments. Don't forget to share, like, and follow for more. Also, click on the next video that comes up. You'll enjoy it.